What is up, Flyers fans? Welcome to Clear the Ice. I'm Big Al, coming back to you again. Second time in a row here. Flyers have two games under their belt this week, and both games won. Um, again, feels weird not feeling happy about a win, but not going to get into that. The last two games. The last few games have been well played by the Flyers. Flyers toppled the Minnesota Wild 5-4 in a shootout, nonetheless, which we all know Flyers historically don't do well in shootouts. But tonight, yeah, they proved otherwise. The young guys coming to play, and just try the good. Like I said, I think I said on the last show, the best part about all this is these young guys. You get a chance to see them shine, see what we have, see what pieces we want to keep because as Torch said, you're going to add by subtracting for some guys. So this team can look a lot different come next year. Um, and it will be different. Hopefully, majorly different with some blue chip players coming in the draft. But we will get into that later. But right now, we're going to talk about the Flyers versus Wild down at the Wells Fargo Center. We already got a comment here. Dave, hey, welcome back, buddy. Hey, Al, Faith and I went into the game again and saw a crazy game. Great win in a shootout. Again, not something we often get to say historically with the Flyers. Great win in a shootout. This was a goal by goal game, match by blow by blow type game. The Flyers would score, Minnesota would score. Minnesota would score, the Flyers would score. Not too long did anybody keep a lead in this game. And let's break this down. Let's start with the first bit of the game. The first period of the game was 1-1 at the end, and it all started with the Flyers picking off right where they started or they left off from. Sanheim rides the puck down the length of the ice and then shoot cross ice, allowing Scott Laughton to beat Marc-Andre Fleury for the first goal of the game, putting the Flyers up 1-0. And just about less than 4 minutes later, the Wild said, "You know what? No, we're not handling that. We're going to tie this game up at 1-1." And Oscar Sundqvist and Middleton playing a little redirect, off a bullet, putting it right past Hart, making it 1-1 tie game in the first. So again, the Flyers start off with goals, with another goal after scoring 6 on Monday. Guys, I want to remind you that this show is brought to you by cherryinjurylaw.com. David R. Cherry is your man for if you get hurt at work, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, or criminal law. You can call him simply at 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. So that was the first period. So it's tied 1-1 going into the first. Then here we go, shot for shot in the second period. The Flyers didn't wait long. Joel Farabee, they weren't happy with the tie, and just like Sundqvist and Middleton did with a great redirect, him and York put on the same show and got another one past Marc-Andre Fleury to put the Flyers up 2-1. The Flyers keep putting a lot of pressure on, but Marc-Andre Fleury did have some great saves. Even though he let up a couple at this point. Looking good for a 38-year-old in goal. The former Penguin who had given many Flyers fans great grief over the years. But the Wild exchange another goal. Tippett's pass gets intercepted by Eriksson Ek and Johannesson, and takes the pass and to Eric, and then shovels it over to Matt Boldy. And Boldy just playing just some great hockey right now. Rockets it right past the glove hand of Carter Hart, and now the game's all tied up again. We got a 2-2 game, and it wasn't that long though. After that, Minnesota takes their first lead of the game, and they score another run past Hart, which Hart looked a little out of place for. One of those ones you definitely would want to get back. He probably felt he had a better chance of getting if he was. It just seemed that he was a little out of sorts at that point. Maybe he when he slid across the ice, he could have been maybe a little more agile about it. He just didn't look like he was set to take on that shot, which ultimately gave Minnesota the lead at that point. They're up 3-2. And you know what? That wasn't going to sit well with the Flyers. And something that's been happening to the Flyers a lot lately is losing games or giving up goals with just a second or less left in a period. Well, this time they turned it around. The Flyers were on a power play, and with about 23 seconds left in the second, Ristolainen cranks a one timer from the blue line and sends this game tied in an intermission. And everybody, and it's just again, this like a boxing match. Each boxer taking blow by blow, one just eating punches. And it was a classic. It was a great game. I'm sure if you're down there, like Dave said earlier in the program, you were enjoying yourself a great game, guys. And you want to enjoy a great game, and you don't have tickets, you go to Sherry's Ticket Town or go to sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. That's sports, concerts, theater, you name it. And there's no hidden prices. I say this all the time. You are not going to get bamboozled at checkout. You are going to get the best prices on hard to get tickets, and you can save yourself an additional 10%. That's right, 10% by using that promo code EOP10. Go to sherrystickets.com and tell them EOP sent you, or just use the promo code and then they'll know. And now we go into the third period. It's all tied up. The Wild strike first this period. Matt Boldy again playing at a high level, and with less than 7 minutes in regulation, it seemed like another third period breakdown for the Flyers. And the Flyers are now down 4-3. Well, the young and up-and-coming Tyson Foerster continues to shine, continues to turn heads in the Flyers organization as well as with fans, and ties the matchup all at 4 with a goal, and that will take us to the end of regulation, and the Flyers are, going to OT, which, again, not one of the here's the thing is they scored on a power play, something they haven't been able to do well. They were able to kill the power play today, something they haven't been able to do well. But for the most part, it was a disciplined game. And now we're at a end of regulation, tied 4-4. We go into OT. The full OT is taken and nobody scores. So as I know, the next thing is ultimately the shootout. Again, a big gulp coming from Flyers fans, I'm sure, in the stadium and around. Not once again, historically not doing well in the shootout with the Flyers. There's 6 men sent to the ice. The first shot is taken by Tyson Foerster, and Marc-Andre Fleury is able to stop him. Zuccarello for the Wild, Hart is able to stone him, and the one and only person, the only one we needed was James Van Riemsdyk, who has put in the ball, one past Marc-Andre Fleury, and the rest is it. And that was it. Overtime win for your shootout win for your Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah, Dave, JVR. Everybody was wondering why he's still here. Shootout goal. Just proving he still has something left in the tank. Maybe putting on a show for this next team, because I don't think it will be here with Philadelphia come next year. I think it's a pretty fair chance. But again, the Flyers winning another well played, well fought, well oiled machine. 4 goals, include the one in the shootout. With 6 goals, that's 10 goals in the last 2 games. And I believe that about 5 or so, or about another 3 or 4 in the other game before that. So the offense is definitely coming around. You're seeing some improvement in the defense, a little to the chagrin of the rest of us Flyer fans, because we really want to get one of those blue chip players out of the draft. But again, it is good to see these young guys play and play well, because this is our future. I mean, this is what, when you have a team as bad as the Philadelphia Flyers and all out of it, the only thing you can do is look at the future, look at what we have. And yeah, Dave, you can see the progress of this team, and these guys, they don't know that they're out, or I mean, they know that they're out, but they don't think they're down and out. They're not going to sit there and lay down and let teams win. They're not going to get coached by that. Torts will not coach like that. But this team will need a person, a player, or players to build around going forward, and time will tell on that. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's a 5-4 shootout victory for your Philadelphia Flyers, with James Van Riemsdyk being the hero of the game in the shootout, the one and only goal to go in the shootout by JVR. It was just borderline, just an all around crazy game. Flyers doing well in penalty kill, scoring with 26 seconds left in the period on a power play, holding well in the overtime, and able to hold their own in a shootout. So once again, well played by your Philadelphia Flyers. And guys, speaking of great organizations, Philly Sports Trips, you got to go to phillysportstrips.com. You see some of the things have been already sold out, but you can still grab a Phillies trip to the bus, jump on the bus to go see the Phillies, take on the Yankees in the Bronx, go out to the draft, go over to Colorado to see the Phillies play or the Union play, London Leeds, Citi Field, you name it, they're going to be there. So all summer long, they have different trips, as well as they're ramping up for football season too. And once that schedule drops, so will their schedule drop for the entire year. So it will be awesome. Check out phillysportstrips.com. And actually, I did see today they just dropped for anybody going to the home opener. You can grab a tailgate there. They have a tailgate all set up. It's great. It's at the Live Casino. I've been there for the NFC Championship game. Great food, great drink, great price. I know Charlie Manuel's going to be there. But you got to go. It's an amazing thing, an amazing trip, our amazing time with phillysportstrips.com. I thought the Wild went up 4-3, and I was thinking this might be over. This just kept fighting back. Yeah, I mean, Dave, we all kind of probably thought that. It's kind of the MO the Flyers have been this whole year is, they fight well in period 1 and 2, but period 3 is not their friend and has not been their friend all season long. And it's a nice turn of events. It's a nice turn of events for the Flyers to be able to play well and hard against the team, because the Wild are they're in the playoff hunt. They're trying to, and they're a physical team, and when you could play well against a physical team like the Minnesota Wild, it speaks volumes to the team, speaks volumes to the players and the coaching. And even the other thing, there was a chance that Torts could have challenged a play for a high sticking that was, and he didn't, and that ultimately led to a goal for the Flyers, and probably could have changed the outcome of this game in some way. So, all around great play, great coaching tonight. This was one of those well-oiled machine type games that we didn't see all the time, infrequently. So coming off a 6-3 victory over the Florida Panthers, scoring machine. The Flyers were that on Monday night, and then again tonight. Watching them play as they did, it's just an amazing. It's nice to see growth, and they're really letting these young guys play and giving them a chance. And that's the one great spotlight going into these games, is getting to see what we have to look forward to in the future. Guys, check out the lineup here at EOP Sports. You can see all the things that you might have missed. Don't worry if you're like, oh man, I missed a bunch of that. That sounds interesting. You can go check out the podcast on all your favorite podcast outlets, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, you name it. It's on there. Also, check out our YouTube channel. We are live with a lot of these things, but there's a ton of non-live content, shorts, full-length videos, you name it, covering the draft galore. Some draft videos dropping tomorrow. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up now. It comes out tomorrow morning. Simply just drop your email out, go to eopsports.com and click on the newsletter, or in any one of the many articles that we put out. And also, if you missed it earlier tonight, the Attacking Third talked plenty of Union soccer for all you MLS fans. So check it out at eopsports.com, or follow us on all social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. We're there. So Let's look around the league. Let's see the scores right now. I just mentioned earlier, Flyers won 5-4 over the Minnesota Wild in a shootout. The Bruins beat the Canadiens 4-2 today. The Blues beat the Red Wings 4-3. The Maple Leafs trounced the Panthers like we did just not too long ago, 6-2. Rangers beat the Hurricanes 2-1. Capitals just put a whooping on the Blackhawks 6-1. Senators just snuffed out the Lightning 7-2. That almost looks like a low-scoring football game there. The Predators beat the Krakens in a shootout 2-1, and we still have some late games going on in the third period. Not even halfway through the third period, the Golden Knights are up 3-1 on the Calgary Flames. The Penguins and Stars are tied with about 11 minutes left in the third. The Sharks are losing to the Canucks they're in the second period with about a little less than 8 minutes left. And the Jets and Ducks are all tied up at 1 with a little less than 11 minutes left in the second period. So that is your hockey scores tonight, guys. Let's see. We have any more comments, Dave? I owe Faith a milkshake. I lost a bet on the game. You bet on the game of milkshake. That's a fair bet. That's fun to do. I'm glad that, it's Dave. I love the fact that you and other people are. I've been seeing a lot of kids there lately. If watching the games from home, they do pan a lot to the crowd. A lot of kids, and you got to get these young Flyers fans going because it's been a while since these Flyers have been relevant. And I mean, 2010 was the most relevant time they've had recently. But since they won a cup, Dave, you're not even old enough to remember, I don't think. But it's this team needs relevance, man. When I feel like I say this for every sport, but when Philadelphia hockey is relevant, hockey's just that much better. This town is that much better. And I'm really crossing my fingers that Danny Briere has the answers, or we could put the faith into with the Philadelphia Flyers to grow it and hopefully in the coming years be relevant again. So we covered the game, like I said, 5-4 shootout win for your Philadelphia Flyers. Another exciting game at the Wells Fargo Center. Their next game, I have it up here. I'm a little behind. Yeah, their next game is Saturday at 1:00. I know it's in the afternoon, 1:00 against the Red Wings again at the Wells Fargo. So it'll be 3 times this week. You can go to Wells Fargo. So you have it. If you saw 2 exciting games, you're like, oh man, I need to get down there. Well, you have a chance on Saturday, 1:00. Red Wings come into South Philly to take on your Philadelphia Flyers. Again, conflicted with the winning. Really won a great draft pick, but at the same time, it is fun to see these young guys. They're very energetic. Dave said it earlier in the comments. You see a lot of energy, and these guys want to play. So it is fun to see that they want to play because we want them to play for us. But that is about it tonight, guys. I want to thank Dolan's Bar over at 24 East Sellers Avenue, the Most Delco Bar. Great quizzo, music, memorabilia giveaways, great times. You never know who's going to be there. What a famous ex-athlete or current athlete is going to be there. Go to dolansbar.com. Follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. And tell PJ Dolan that EOP sent you. Don't forget Sherry'sTickets.com and use that promo code EOP10 to save big. And if you get hurt at work, car accident, personal injury, criminal law, you go to cherryinjurylaw.com or call David Cherry at 610-565-0300. Or if you're looking to book a trip, you want to get out of town, but you still want to check out some Philly sports, you go to phillysportstrips.com. Check it out. Tell Vince that EOP sent you. And that is about it, guys, tonight. So Flyers on a little 2-game winning streak here. 2 impressive wins, 2 exciting games. It was fun and exciting. Saw myself fist pumping a little bit during a Flyers game, which I've not done in a while. But it was an impressive win nonetheless tonight. 5-4 was your final shootout over the Minnesota Wild. So, guys, that will do it for me tonight. I'm Big Al. The Fighting's Final will be back. My article is up on EOPsports.com as well. So if you missed anything, if you want any more of the details, go to EOPsports.com, and right there, scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the Flyers box, and it's the top one right there. And you can check it out also on our social media, guys. I am out, and I am out of here.